Hello, this is Victor, and this week I want to talk how to highlight black with purple. Is the highlights I'm using to for the black on my harlequins, and I think it's a different way to work with black and give a different look. So let's do that. I will show you how I do it. I hope you find it interesting, and it's a good way to have a different black on your army. It's working very well if you do Dark Elder or you're doing Dark Elf or any of, for example, in that case, the Harlequins, and you want to give a different look to the black. So I start the base color, of course, I start from black in that case, and then I will use Nagarot Night. This is the color I'm going to use as the first layer. So yeah, I will apply this in on the parts that I want to highlight, but you have to be careful because I will use you have to keep in mind I will use then after that Shereus purple. I will also use Genestealer purple, and the last accents are going to be done with the Kala Lilac. As you can see, I will use 4 colors. So to do the transition from black to this super light purple, you want to make nice transition. So this is why I will apply quite generously this first layer of highlight, because it's very close to the black. You will see that it's even hard to see in the camera where I apply this color, and once dries it's even darker, so it will give it gives a very nice transition to the purple. And in some parts you will see that the only part that remains really black are the most deepest recesses. So here, so using we'll do this leg. Okay. You can see in this parts that are the leg can be sometimes tricky, because in this case the surface is very smooth and there is no clear wrinkles or parts that you need to highlight. So you create artificially light brights on the leg to break the uniformity of the color. For example here. And normally what I do, the trick I use sometimes is I follow the reflection of my painting light. That way I will have something more natural. As you can see, I do quite big areas, but you see the black is just getting some tonalities of purple, but is for me it's still black. So it's not, this color is really dark, and especially if you apply it on top of black. Okay, here I use the musculature. And you will highlight more the top of the arm than the bottom. So yeah, and here I will do these things. I don't paint these things normally as gems. Then these tubes. Here we go to the edge. Okay. Okay, this is good enough. Here on this type of surfaces, on the head, that is, what I will do here is, I will apply a lot here on the top. So I will do a bright here, and then here I will follow a little bit. Like that. And the same here, top a lot. Okay. I don't close that because maybe I will need it to make the transition softer. Now I go to Shadows Purple. We'll start with the leg, and then in particular I will start first with the knee. I just like it to start with parts that are for sure needs to be highlighted in that color. Then I water. As you can see, I use water all the time to thin it down. In that case, you need to thin down the paint. Then, as you can see, I use the previous color to make the transition softer. This color you have to be more careful, because if you apply too much, you will switch from black with purple highlights to purple. So you really just want to do in some parts. Here, for example, I can turn a little bit and I can do another one here. Okay, that leg is easier. This part is the one that we want to highlight. Okay, I think I will focus on the leg and the torso for this tutorial to make it faster, because if I do the full parts, the video is going to be too long, and then I think working on these parts should be enough to show you the principle. As you can see, and then here, the knee. We apply it here on the knee, and then we let the color to fade out. The other thing is, when I'm doing these highlights, I like to go zone by zone, so I do normally the I apply first the darker purple, but then when I start playing the other layers, I like to go zone by zone to see that I'm applying the right highlights. And I never do batch painting when I do this type of work, because for me it's easier in that way. I'll put some highlights here. Then I will put a little bit just on top of the bell. Okay, let's go to the next one, that is the Gene Stealer purple. This is quite dry, so I'm going to put some water, mix it, to be sure that I have a thin paint. One way to know if you have thin paint is take surface to paint. For example, here looks too much liquid, so we need to mix a little bit better. Here is too thick. If you paint this part on here, this should be okay. If you take something that is too thick, first you will see that it's breaking and the line is more difficult. So when you do this type of highlights, try to have the paint more thinner than when you are doing the base. And the reason is being transparent, a little bit transparent, is good when you highlight. It helps you a lot on make the transitions smoother. You can see this purple is much more visible on top. We use the previous layer to limit the size of the highlight. We can even go to the previous one if we think that is too much. Now the previous, the Nagarot purple, when it's applied, and you go in a part that is painted with this light purple, now it's going to be more visible, because you are applying this on a lighter base. So you see this, I will not apply, and then this one, you know, don't need to apply everywhere, and you need to do, just start doing just some very small accents. These are one places that you want to highlight. Okay, here this fold, and then here the end of the trousers. You want to do this fold here. A little bit here, and then we keep with the edge of the trousers. And again, remember that we want to keep the black as the base color. We don't want to switch the black into purple, at least not in that case. Here in the back that I forgot to do the shadows, I apply a little bit of the shadows here. You can see this. And then a little bit touch of the Gene Stealer purple, just like that. Want to put a little bit of this up here on the top. Take a little bit of this, we do just a small touch, we do the edge of this part of the toes again. You can see first apply the part that I didn't apply correctly, the shade I used purple this way. I like to do zone by zone. And I keep all the colors open. Because I'm switching one to the other to be able to balance the colors. I should have also the black open, in case I feel that it's too purple. Example here I need black because there is a little bit of pink. I will correct this later on, but you should correct this with the black. So this is how it's looking like. No, after the third highlight. And now we go to the last one, and this is the one that you have to be very careful. Keep the other purples close to you in case you need to do a small correction, because this this purple is very light, and you just want to do very small touch. Some cases is just, for example, this is too much, but what I do this in purple. So now we will take the shadows, purple, this is my way for me to give the sensation that this is like elastic and satin clothes. Okay, you just, if it's too much, I go back to this color. I make the line thinner and make it fade out. Can take this one a little bit and simulate that it's fading out. Okay. We can apply, we don't do all the edge, we just apply in the most visible parts of the edge of the trousers. Don't need to do all, you can do these corners, for example, just a touch. This fold is quite important, you can do just a touch here, and then with the previous color we be sure that we keep the shape of the fold. Okay, the bottom we need to put a little bit more of the previous purples. We take Gene Stealer purple, we apply a little bit, and then we can apply and just very little touch of this. Okay, I will keep working, but this is the idea. You can see. Then I will do the head because it's quite peculiar shape. This it's rounded, so how I will do the head, or how I do the head, is especially on the top. You want to apply. I'm applying first. I remember that I applied first Nagarot purple, and now we will apply shadows purple. Here I make it a little bit bigger. I apply now Genestealer purple, and here is where you have to be careful. We'll apply it more of. These two clear here. Okay, and this should be good enough for the head. So yeah, this is how a different way to highlight black using purple and give a different touch to the black. I think it's a good way to deviate from the traditional ways of blues, and it's working quite well, and especially I will recommend this for Dark Elder or Dark Elves. So that's finishing this tutorial. I hope you find it interesting, this different way to highlight the black. So please leave your comment below. If you want to see something in my weekly paintings, please let me know. If you are interested in a technique or in how I do a color or anything that you are interested on, I can adapt my tutorial to your interest. So again, thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later. Bye.